this month is the month of love. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Liv. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me to hang out to talk about all the books that I want to get to in the month of February. Yes, this video is late. It's typically not late, but it's late for very good reason because January was so chaotic and so fun, but I feel like I kind of dropped YouTube a little bit to the wayside. Not a bad thing. But the bad thing is my reading was awful. Not in regards to the books I actually read. The books I read were actually no. They were not good. I had 1 5-star in the month of January, a 1-star, and then I read 3 other manga, and that's it. So you're gonna notice that this February TBR is massive, mainly because I am trying to give myself more options of books I'm actually in the mood for in hopes that I will come out of this reading slump, kind of. I don't know if I'm just doing too much, I don't have time to read, or if I actually am not finding the perfect book right now for me. I don't know what it is, but hopefully this month will be the month that I not only double, but maybe like triple the books that I read in January. But that being said, this month is the month of love, which you are not going to be seeing a whole lot of romance books in my TBR. I'm not exactly in the mood for romance, but I am currently participating in kind of like a Valentine's romance readathon, which I'm going to share with you in a minute. But to go ahead and get us started, I'm going to be pulling out for the first time my 23 books I want to read in 2023 mug. I'm very nervous about this. I tried this last year and I think even the year before and utterly failed, but this year I took a different twist on it and I asked 12 of my friends to give me their top favorite book or a book they think I would really love, and I sent them a picture of my shelves, so I'm not going to be buying any new books. I just said, here are the books that I own. What do you think I would love? What should I make as my top priority? There's 12 of those in here, represented by the pink slips. I believe the yellow ones are fantasy and the orange ones are just like contemporary. I can't remember exactly, but we've got 3 different colors going on here and I'm so nervous, but I'm ready. We're gonna start off by picking, I kind of want to pick 2, but I don't know if I want to pick 2 because that's a lot of pressure. So let's just go ahead and pick 1 here. Why am I looking? Yes, okay, pink is one that my friend chose, but which friend is it gonna be? Let's see. These are actually sticky, so I can't actually peek at them. Killers of a Certain Age! Oh my gosh, okay, let me go get the book. Okay, so my friend Kayla from Bee's Bookland, who I will link below, she actually lives here in the same town as me, so I guess she's kind of like a close proximity friend in a way, which I love her to death, but she chose Killers of a Certain Age for me, and I believe she said the reason why is because she really wants to read it and she wants me to read it so I can give her my feelings and opinions, I guess maybe to see if it's worth it. But I am over the moon excited about this one because I was so excited to have this in my hands when it finally released, and of course I never got around to reading it. It's Kill or Be Killed, but they've been at this a long time. I don't know what to expect from this other than I just know for a fact it's gonna be a great time, and I'm predicting at least 4 stars. So Kayla, thank you for finally giving me the push that I need to put this on a TBR. Next, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little readathon TBR because yes, I am hoping and praying that a readathon at the very beginning of this month will kind of jumpstart my month for me, get me out of this little slump or whatever I'm in, because I'm determined to make February a much better reading month. And this readathon is called X's and O's. It's currently going on until February 8th. It is hosted by Lena, Gwen, Jess, Lauren, and Summer. So I'm going to leave all of their profiles or YouTube channels in my description. But this is the cutest romance kind of Valentine's Day theme of a readathon I have ever seen. There's 2 teams. There's Team X and there's Team O, and I decided to join Team O. So there's 3 prompts. prompts, starting with a book that has friends to lovers. And for this one, I chose Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. Truth be told, I have never heard of this author before. I actually picked up this book when I was in Nashville with my friends Jordan, Keisha, and Kendall. And Kendall, Jordan, and I, we all bought this book in hopes to do a buddy read together. And I really don't know much about it, other than it's about a girl who owns a bookshop. It says, love isn't always by the book in this charming romantic comedy about a bookseller discovering how to be the main character in her story. Does that not sound like the perfect romance book for a book nerd especially? I cannot wait to dive into this one and kind of see how the plot thickens, how these two end up becoming friends. And I only put it in this prompt because I wasn't seeing anything about one night stand or enemies to lovers, so I'm hoping that they become friends first. I'm going into it blind and it was kind of a cover buy for me, I'm not gonna lie. The next prompt is to read a book with pink on the cover, and I have been in such a huge cozy mystery mood, and for this readathon you don't have to read just romance books, so I decided to finally pick up Vinyl Resting Place by Olivia Blacke. This is also blurbed by Elle Casamano, who wrote Finlay Donovan is Killing It. She said it is a delight. It says, when Junie Jessup and her sisters Tansy and Maggie put all their beans in one basket to open Sip and Spin Records, a record/coffee shop in Cedar River, Texas. Hello. Records and coffee, the perfect combination. They knew there could be some scratches on the track, but no one was expecting to find a body deader than disco in the supply closet. This is the start to the Record Shop Mysteries, a series that I don't know how long it's gonna be. This is bound to be the absolute perfect book for me because it has such a big sister dynamic. There's coffee. I mean, seriously, what more could I want in a cozy mystery? The next prompt is a book with a word from the Team O's Conversation Heart in the title. And so in this prompt, or in these graphics, they actually have the different teams with the Conversation Heart candy, and for this one I chose the word your to finally pick up part of your world. I literally am only 50 pages in, and this is an immediate 5 stars from me. I love the audiobook, I love the vibes. In this book we start out with a girl named Alexis who is on her way back from a funeral. She accidentally swerves a raccoon, ends up in a ditch, so this guy named Daniel comes to rescue her, little to find out he's actually the mayor of this small town who owns a freaking baby goat. So you have two polar opposites. You have a doctor and you have this small town kind of guy, and it's already giving me Gilmore Girls meets Grey's Anatomy. I am just so obsessed. I already started reading it and I do not want to put it down, so I have a feeling this is going to be probably my first 5-star read of February. But the next book I decided to pick up because I love supporting my friends at the Cozy Hollow Book Club, which is hosted by Lauren, Rachel, and Caitlin, and for the month of February they chose Pride, Prejudice, and Peril, a Jane Austen Tea Society mystery. This sounds like the absolute perfect theme of a cozy mystery for the month of February, and I cannot wait to pick this one up. So in this book, our main character apparently has a lot of knowledge up in that noggin about Jane Austen, and she decides to join this TV reality series. I think it works kind of like The Bachelor or Bachelorette, but apparently I guess someone's fake husband is found electrocuted, which sounds kind of hilarious. I shouldn't be laughing, but to mix Jane Austen with electrocution, I don't know, it's just kind of a weird type of thing, and it sounds really quirky. I'm so here for it. I cannot wait to see what everybody thinks of this one, but it just looks so stinking good. Okay, so now that we have my readathon, my book club, and my 2023 pick from Kayla, we can just now dive right into all the other kind of random books I chose to read this month. It's a big variety, but like I said, there's actually not many romance on this list for being February, so just forewarning you there. But the first book that I absolutely must finish, I have to finish this book, you guys. I'm gonna be so upset if I pull it into another month, which honestly very well may happen, but it is a chunker, okay? Like, can you blame me? It is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I only made it barely half of the way through this book in the month of January. It was the first book that I picked up for the year. I was like, you know what? We're gonna start out with my biggest, fattest book that is on my highest priority. I didn't make it through. I did not come out alive, at least not yet. So I'm hoping to continue this one. There's been a lot of slow world building, and while I am enjoying that, I'm definitely ready for the plot to thicken. I've heard a lot of people actually cry because they're so shocked at the ending of this book, but I love the world building so far because it's kind of based off of metals give you different powers, which is very intriguing to me. The next book I have that I probably have spent the most money on lately for one book. Typically I buy a lot of my books used or I do trade credit for them, but this book I absolutely had to own the instant it came out, and that is Emily Wilde's Encyclopaedia of Faeries by Heather Fawcett. This book is definitely making its rounds all around Booktube and even Instagram, and I have not heard a single bad review yet. A curmudgeonly professor journeys to a small town in the far north to study fairy folklore and discovers dark magic, friendship, and love in this heartwarming and enchanting fantasy. I actually have never heard of this author before, but just by reading that blurb, I knew immediately I cannot wait to read this any longer. I love that there's different dates on the chapter titles, almost like you're kind of reading a journal or a diary. I mean, it's an encyclopedia, but it just feels like it could be more of like a conversational type book, and I cannot wait. I already listened to the sample of the audio. It sounds amazing, and I'm in the mood for slower paced fantasy right now, especially after getting through or diving into Mistborn. I think this is definitely going to be something that's a good palate cleanser. Next up, I finally got my hands on another anticipated release, and that is The Minuscule Mansion of Myra Malone by Audrey Burges. Look at this cover. Hello, how is this not gonna make you want to pick it up instantly? But the synopsis of this book is kind of confusing because it seems to me like it's magical realism with romance, but also it's more contemporary. Like, it's not a huge world building thing, but I'm just gonna read you the back. From her attic in the Arizona mountains, 34-year-old Myra Malone blogs about a dollhouse mansion that captivates thousands of readers worldwide. Myra's stories have created a legion of fans who breathlessly await every new Minuscule mansion post. Myra herself is tethered to the mansion by mysteries she doesn't understand, rooms that appear and disappear overnight, music that plays in its corridors. Across the country in Virginia, Alex Rakes, the scion of a custom furniture business, encounters two mansion fans trying to recreate a room. The pair shows him the Minuscule mansion, and Alex is shocked to recognize a reflection of his own life mirrored back to him in minute scale. The room is his own bedroom, and the mansion is his family's house, handed down from the grandmother who disappeared mysteriously when Alex was a child. Searching for answers, Alex begins corresponding with Myra. Together, the two unwind the lonely past of their twin worlds, big and small, and trace the stories that entwine them, setting the stage for a meeting rooted in loss, but defined by love. Well, that was an absolute mouthful. I heard love and romance, I heard mystery, magical realism. Like, this book sounds like absolute perfection. It just sounds like a unique twist or plot that I have never heard of before. You kind of have parallel worlds, maybe there's some time travel. I don't know what's going to go down in this book, but this is another one that is very high on my TBR. Getting into some romance now, I have Not That Kind of Ever After by Luci Adams. Is this cover not the absolute cutest thing you have ever seen? This is actually an ARC. This comes out in March. I'm not exactly sure what day, but I do believe this is an adult romantic comedy. Bella Marble lives a below average life. Instead of an author, she's a receptionist. Instead of happily married, she's single. And to top it off, her lifelong best friend Ellie Matthews is moving out and marrying boring Mark. The only spark in Bella's utterly rudderless life is Ellie's not hot brother Marty. He's not hot. Okay, he's hot, but he's also her best friend's totally off-limits brother. When Bella posts a fairy tale retelling of a disastrous one-night stand on a storytelling app, the story goes viral. Bella's in a fight with Ellie, her new roommates are deeply weird, and the pressure's mounting to find stories to write about, but she's got to live them first. Bella will quickly learn that sometimes you need a lost shoe, a drunken escapade with some smurfs, and one very potent gingerbread house to show you how to find your way back to those you love. Helen Hunting blurbed this and said, as side-splitting hilarious as it is empowering and emotional, a sparkling debut. I'm always willing to give debut authors a shot, and when I saw this from St. Martin's, I was like, okay, this cover looks absolutely adorable. It sounds like a great time, especially for someone that loves fantasy like me. Love a good fairy tale, so hopefully this is as cute as the cover is. The next book I want to talk about is one that I've heard actually isn't quite romance, but it sounds cute nonetheless, and that is The Lost Ticket by Freya Sampson. Honestly, the back had my heart in pieces already, so I'm just gonna read you the first little paragraph here. It says, when Libby Nichols arrives in London, first of all, London, hello. Broken-hearted and with her life in tatters, the first person she meets on the bus is elderly Frank. He tells her about the time in 1962 that he met a girl on the number 88 bus with beautiful red hair just like hers. They made plans for a date at the National Gallery Art Museum, but Frank lost the bus ticket with her number on it. For the past 60 years, he's ridden the same bus trying to find her, but with no luck. As far as I know, this crew of people or riders that are on the bus try to help this man find his perfect woman, this perfect lady that he is destined to be with, or thinks he's destined to be with. So I'm very excited to see what happens in this story. It sounds like a really fun, adventurous time, but really emotional, and sometimes you just need a good emotional, heart-wrenching book. Next, I have 4 thrillers. Yes, that's right. This TBR is still going, so I'm going to run through the 4 thrillers on my list very quickly. Not sure which ones I'm going to end up being in the mood for, so this is definitely one of those more mood reading type TBRs, but the first one is You by Caroline Kepnes. And this is mainly because the 3rd season, or is it the 4th season, of You is finally coming out to Netflix at the end of this month. No. Next weekend. Oh my gosh, okay. So apparently the show is coming out next weekend, and I totally forgot, but I've also been listening to Penn Badgley's podcast, which has been such a joy and so entertaining to listen to. So apparently I'm just in this huge mood for like a dark, twisty romance. I don't even know what you would technically call this. I love the show, and I feel like it's high time I read the books because I've heard they're the same but also very different. And the next thriller I have is The Perfect Child by Lucinda Berry. This is going to be my first Lucinda Berry book. I'm very nervous because I know she is very dark. She has lots of triggers in her books, but this one just says, for eager adopted parents, getting what they always wanted has chilling consequences. This sounds like another case of one of those creepy kind of children themes in the book, which sometimes I kind of love. So I'm not reading the synopsis of this one. I'm going into it completely blind. This is the #1 like top rated recommendation for this author, so I'm very intrigued to see what I think, and I feel like I'm either gonna love it or I'm absolutely gonna hate it, so I'm very interested to see where I fall on that spectrum. The next one I have is We Spread by Ian Reid. This is very short, so I feel like I could fly through it, but I just have a feeling this is going to be one that I want to annotate and tab. It has to do with an artist that I guess she's like mentally spiraling. I really don't know. It's a very dark, kind of twisted contemporary thriller from what it sounds like, but I like the fact that our main character is an artist because that's pretty relatable for me. I've just seen so many people screaming, crying over this book, and I need to know why. I don't have any intentions to read I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I didn't like the movie. I know they're different, but this is the first book by this author that has really caught my attention or piqued my my interest. Hopefully I love it as much as everyone else has been loving it. And last but not least, What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall has been staring me in the face since the moment I got this from Book of the Month. I absolutely adore Kate Alice Marshall. She's creepy, she's grotesque, she just knows how to get under your skin, and this is her first adult mystery thriller, so I have no doubt that she is going to go far with this and just jump right into it. I don't know what this is about. I literally haven't even been reading the synopsis because I want to go into this one blind, but a lot of people have been giving it 5 stars, and I hope that because I didn't love her newest young adult kind of mystery horror thriller, that this one will kind of redeem her for me in a way because I just really need another really good Kate Alice Marshall in my life. And the next mystery thriller, which is a cozy mystery, is If Walls Could Talk by Juliet Blackwell. This is a haunted home renovation mystery. This cover is absolutely stunning. I also have not seen anyone that I know that's into cozy mysteries talk about this, but it sounds so cute. It says, she puts up walls, he walks through them. I feel like this could kind of be my genre or subgenre of cozy mysteries that I really love. Hoping to get to this one if I have the time. Jumping into my 2 graphic novels, because you guys know I always have to add one. If I'm reading a big book, I'll read a graphic novel to kind of break things up. And for this month, I decided to finally read Volume 3 of Lore Olympus. I flew through the second one in one sitting. I absolutely need to know what happens. This is a very toxic relationship, and it sounds bad to say that it's entertaining, but it's done tastefully, and there's so many good like morals and lessons you can learn from this story. Not to mention the artwork is absolutely beautiful. I feel like you guys have probably seen this on the internet everywhere. It's always blowing up. She's always publishing the next volume, so I don't want to get too far behind in the story, but this has to do with romance, but they're Greek gods, but it's kind of like in modern day times. If you've never picked it up and any of those are buzzwords for you, definitely check it out. This was originally on Webtoon, I think, as well. I could be completely wrong, but it wasn't only this beautiful cover that sold me. This is actually in color, which is absolutely amazing. This is about a girl who plays this video game who one day wakes up in her character of the video game's body. There is romance involved, but the video game element is kind of what sold me because I do love romance, but I'm hoping it's not too heavy on the romance. I don't know. It sounds like it could honestly be a love triangle, but just the art style and everything, I know this is just going to be such a fun, enjoyable read. It just looked really good. I saw it on the shelf and could not pass it up. Alright friends, we have reached the end of this video, and if you've watched the whole video through, because this is such a big TBR, please leave me a heart emoji, any type of color, a heart emoji for the month of love, and I hope that this giant TBR will just give me some options of hoping to find a 5-star and make February a way better reading month than January. But before you leave, don't forget to also tell me what book that you are most excited to read about in February. I always love to hear what you guys are reading in the comments. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.